a little more fencing going up. On the war in Iraq, what's the job of the Congress when the president's basically got your approval to begin the war, the authorization of 2002? What should Congress basically, once it authorizes a war, step back and let the president run it the way he wants to, or should you be overseeing what he does and judging the success of our military campaign over there?
The president is the commander-in-chief.
Right.
And he and his people on the ground ought to be running the war. Now, does Congress?
What role does Congress have?
Now, Congress have an oversight role? Yes, it does.
To do?
Have we been there to look at it? Virtually every member of Congress has been to Iraq to see for themselves. We've had briefing after briefing. We've looked at how they're spending the money. We have an oversight role, but we're not there to run the war.
Well, are you there to decide if we have enough troops?
No, that's the generals on the ground.
Are you happy we have enough troops?
The generals on the ground say we have enough troops. We ought to take their word for it.
You believe
you the expert?
No, not at all. But I read day after day, we see that we're having a hard time keeping control of events over there. It's becoming a civil war, and we're not
on the ground.
Are they free to speak? How come every time a general retires, he starts trashing the president's war policy, but doesn't say a word till he retires? In other words, do we have to wait for retirement? Do you hear what these guys think?
The bigger issue here, is that we have to win in Iraq.
Agreed.
There's no question about it.
We have to win, whatever that means.
Because if you look at what was leaked out of the National Intelligence Estimate over the weekend by the New York Times, and you read the rest of what was declassified yesterday, you also see in there that they make it clear that winning in Iraq will undercut their ability to recruit new terrorists. Republicans are serious about giving the president the tools to take on the terrorists and to defeat them. While our colleagues across the aisle say all the right words, but when it comes to standing up and voting to give the president the tools, they're never there. Just like I just left the House floor to come over here. We've got these terrorist tribunals, a way to get information from these terrorists and to try them. Virtually every Democrat voted no. It's the same old story. Talk a good line, but when it comes to giving the president tools, they won't do it. They want him to fight the terrorists with one arm tied behind their back.
Should Congress have authorized this war in Iraq?
Absolutely.
Why? What good has it done us?
Based on everything that we knew.
No, what good has it done us since then? What good has this war done America in Iraq? Why is it good for America? I don't get it.
Liberating the Iraqi people, we have taken the war to the terrorists. There is no question.
Terrorists were in Iraq when we got there?
Whether they were there or not, it is now the central front in our war with al-Qaeda.
That may well be true because we went to Iraq.
There because we and the rest of the world thought that he had weapons of mass destruction. There was no. Everybody had the same intelligence.
I just don't understand, based upon your experienced political leader. You've been chosen by your party to lead you. You've got a vice president who has said there were weapons of mass destruction there. Nuclear weapons, the mushroom cloud. Condi Rice said that. He said we'd be greeted as liberators. He said there was a connection to 9/11. He's always wrong, and yet you say we owe him the support, and he and the president of Commander-in-Chief. We should always believe what they say. Do you believe that?
Commander-in-Chief.
Do you believe he's right all the time?
Listen, none of us are right all the time. You know, the last guy that was right all the time, they hung him across.
Job is the role of Congress is to check the power of the executive.
And we do it each and every day. We have oversight hearings in the various committees.
You think you did a good job in 2002 when you said yes to the president? He said let's go to Iraq. You think you did good oversight?
We did the right thing by going to Iraq. No, because we believed the intelligence reports that we were looking at.
Were you right?
The same ones that he was looking at.
But were you right?
Well, who knows whether we were right?
Well, there's no weapons of mass destruction. There's no connection to 9/11. The president, vice president, and there was a war that the vice president never predicted.
Chris, while we have not found weapons of mass destruction yet, the whole world believed that he had them. I believe that he had them. What he did with them, we don't know.
So did
he have them? I do believe that he had them. And I do believe that we did the right thing by taking out a dictator who was causing insurrection in the entire region.
Do you believe he had a role in 9/11?
Not a direct role. A supportive role.
What was the support?
Training terrorists, training camps in Iraq.
For 9/11?
For terrorists. There's no question that he supported their activities. He supported the training camps up in northeastern Iraq. There's no question about that.
So Saddam Hussein was in league with the al-Qaeda group?
He was providing cover for them, yes.
I keep trying to find that evidence, Congressman. I can't find it. Nobody's come up with that.
The vice
president was asked about, the president was asked about that. They both admitted recently that he had no role in 9/11.
I didn't say a direct role. In terms of training and allowing terrorists to be trained up in northeastern Iraq, his aiding and abetting of these terrorist organizations. Was he an accomplice of the 9/11 attack?
Listen. You say not direct. That means indirect. What was his indirect role? Did he help 9/11?
Not directly.
Okay, you keep going back to that.
But
you're a leader. I'm
Chris,
not a leader.
The fact is, Saddam Hussein used weapons of mass destruction against his own people. He used weapons of mass destruction in his war against Iran. To think that he didn't have weapons of mass destruction is pure lunacy. He had them. What did he do with them? We don't know.
That's a conjecture. You have to admit that, what you just said.
He used them.
No, you don't know that he had them. You don't know he had them in 2002. You don't know that. There's no evidence he did.
All the intelligence estimates that we had and every country in the world had was that he had weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, but they're wrong.
And was on the verge of using them.
They were wrong.
But our decision was based on what we knew at the time.
We're going full circle. I respect you, sir. Thank you for coming on the show. I just think this war has not added up to the cause that was made for it in the beginning.
You want to take on the terrorists and defeat them?
The facts aren't there.
Or you want to take on the terrorists and defeat them? Or do you just want to come home?
With the argument we've heard here and elsewhere, after Pearl Harbor, we would attack China. You got to attack the people that attacked you, or you're wasting time.
If we weren't fighting the terrorists in Baghdad, we'd be fighting them in Boston, New York, Washington,
we invited
LA.
them into Iraq. That's the problem. They weren't there when we got there. But you know what? I want to know where we're going next, and you're right. It's up to this country and the Democrats to find a solution to where we're going in Iraq. And thank you very much, Congressman John Boehner of Ohio.